I can report tonight that based on the best available information, the Department of Homeland Security is confident that the suspect in custody is a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth. He was flown in by the Biden administration in September 2021 on those infamous flights that everybody was talking about. Nobody knew who was coming in. Nobody knew anything about it. His status was extended under legislation signed by President Biden, a disastrous president, the worst.
So let's talk about the lies that Donald Trump had in that video and the lack of information that he decided to not share with you. This right here is the man who shot the U.S. National Guards members yesterday. This man absolutely did come in under Operation Allies Welcome. But what Trump didn't want to tell you is that this man served with the Afghan military for 10 years alongside the U.S. Armed Forces or Special Forces and the CIA. He was part of the partner force. And if you don't know what that requires, let me show you what kind of vetting that requires. Yes, in order to be part, this is mandatory, by the way. All partner forces working with the CIA or special forces or any of that must go under biometric enrollment, meaning fingerprints, iris scans, facial imaging, identifying document reviews, and all of their databases must be jointly maintained with all of this. So for years, including under the first Trump administration, this man was working with the CIA. Don't believe me? The CIA director confirmed it that he had been working there for years. Years as in he was sent to the United States in 2021, which means he had been working there for years under the Trump administration, being vetted. Now, I'd like to go over some other things about the understanding of this. Now, I've seen a lot of shit about Biden administration rushing the vetting process. I would just encourage everybody to go over and read this report from the Department of Defense's IG report that was conducted and sent out in February of 2022 about the Afghan withdrawal and vetting. Now, what this report said is that there was obvious gaps in what they did. So when they were withdrawing people because of the downfall of the airport, they were taking them to a US base. About 50% of them did not have complete paperwork and were not completely vetted. Now, when they were brought to the base, nobody left the base without being 100% vetted. Because in August of 2021, NGIC personnel expanded their normal analytic review of all biometrical watch list matches to also include non-watch list matches of Afghan evacuees, used all DoD data to close these gaps. They had already done this. Nobody left. Actually, they removed a small portion of the people that they brought because they were flagged, because they didn't pass. And just in case you needed confirmation that the Trump administration conducted the same kind of vetting on these Afghan people that they worked with, including this man, here's an article from 2017 addressing it. Now, let's talk about these visas. This man came under a humanitarian parole, which is not a visa, which was for 2 years. Now, Congress was supposed to pass the Afghan, Adjustment Act. Congress failed to pass that. So in 2023, Biden put forth one of the budgets to give humanitarian parole extensions, which he qualified for, meaning he had a whole nother year to apply for asylum, which is why he applied and filed in 2024. Now, when you're on a humanitarian parole, which he was getting vetted every single year through 3 different agencies, including the CIA, considering he was still enrolled as one of their forces and contacts. To maintain his information in the system, he also had to be vetted by them. But what I would like to know is why the FBI director was not wanting to answer the question of why this man was granted asylum in April of 2025 under the Trump administration, meaning the Trump administration concluded the entire asylum process, the entire review and vetting process of this man, and concluded that he absolutely deserved to stay in this country and that he was cleared to stay. And now Kristi Noem and Kash Patel are refusing to answer why that was. So before you put all of this on Biden, why don't you understand all the facts that this man was under multiple administrations and their vetting and was cleared to do this. And he came here and he did something horrible yesterday. But I'm not putting that all on Biden. That man made a choice. This is your political mom. Educational purposes only. Viewers discretion advised.